Hello everyone, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com, and this is the first day of 5 sessions on toning our bodies, weight loss, burning fat. It's going to be an invigorating, energizing class, but very slow, because I will be teaching you how to do twists, but in the right way, the correct way. So that's why it's quite intense, but at the same time, it's learning the basics, the fundamentals of what we call rotating, when we say rotating in yoga, and also twisting. And it prepares your body for things like the side crow. So if you're somebody who's who's maybe more of an intermediate, or even been practicing for a while, you'll enjoy the side crow. We're not going to do the side crow in this. I'll show you towards the end, or at the end, but I will actually do that in another video. So we'll get started. Let's just take the first few moments to allow ourselves to settle in, and settle in meaning just take a pause from whatever is what just happened, whatever you just left behind. Sitting on your mat, this is your sacred space for being able to kind of leave things to the side. So whether you're doing a morning class, lunchtime class, evening class, afternoon class, it's just being able to say, okay, for the time being, this is my 30 minutes for me. So as we sit here, you start to simply just observe the breath. By observing the breath, you immediately become present. Hence, mindful yoga practice. Why yoga is mindful. So watching as you breathe in, you'll start to connect with your body through just noticing where the breath moves in the body. The chest, the rib cage, the belly, wherever you feel it. And you'll notice, oh yeah, my shoulders are a little bit tight. And you'll notice my neck is a little tight. And this is the way you kind of stop and pause and observe. So really a wonderful way to get to know yourself at a deeper level. So let's just take one more deep breath in, and then we're going to actually come to standing into mountain pose. That will be where we begin this practice. You don't have to necessarily be at the front of the mat for this beginning part. Bring your feet hip distance apart. Now what we're going to do is bring our mind's eye into our pelvis. And when we're doing rotation, when we're doing any kind of twists in yoga, we want to keep our pelvis stable. Most of us don't, and I'm a testament to it sometimes. I forget. So let's just let our pelvis actually twist with the upper body. So swing the arms from side to side, twist as you normally would if somebody were to ask you to go, swing your arms from side to side. And do a little bit of a twisting, rotating movement. Now, chances are you're going to look down and notice that your knees will move to the side, and your ankles will move, your feet will move. So what's happening here is you're not actually stabilizing. You're not really doing much with the spine. You're doing more hip and pelvis work than you are doing spinal work. So now we're going to stop, come back, and you're going to keep your pelvis still the arms out to the side, and twist to the left. Now, if your knees begin to move to the left, that means you're not stable enough for the hips, and the same thing with the feet. So our knees and our ankles or our feet are our indicators. And then twist to the right, and then twist to the left, and then to the right. So why is this so important? Because in order for us to target the health of our oblique muscles, but also which are those muscles, abdominal muscles that run around the sides of the body, we also want to focus on the spine itself, the extension. And if we are doing the hip, we're including the pelvis, there's not much happening there. Our spine is not getting the full benefit of these classes. So that's why we're here. So let's start at the front of the mat, feet together. Now we'll start our flow. A few different types of stretches that maybe you haven't done before. I'm going to have to at some point turn my back to you so you can actually see it. It's a little bit easier to follow me with my back. So reach your arms up to the sky, and then I want you to bend your knees. Come into your chair. Sit in your chair. And hands at your heart center. Now take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to twist to the left. And notice if your knees change. You can even twist with your hips and see how all of a sudden the right knee pushes forward. We don't want that. We want to bring the right knee in and then adjust and try. Keep your pelvis still and twist from the waist up. And then inhale back to center, only left side, and lift your arms up. Now from here, reach the arms up, and I want you to hook your thumbs, and this is where I'm going to turn around. You don't have to turn. And then bend over to the left. And as you bend over to the left, bring your left foot back behind you, and excuse me, I made a mess. Right foot behind, and then bend. A little bit better stretch if you put your right. So you're going your right leg behind your left, and then inhale back up. And then let's sit back down into your chair, hands at your heart center. And then you're going to twist to the right. Same thing, keep the pelvis still. Your knees jut out. That means that you're not stable at the pelvis. And then inhale, let's lift back up. Let's stretch, hook the thumb, stretch to the right, and this time left leg behind. And curl those toes under and stretch. So you should feel this wonderful side oblique stretch, and then inhale back up. And then let's exhale, fold forward into your forward bend. You can open the feet hip distance and let yourself settle here for a moment, releasing the spine. Take a breath in and take a breath out. That's inhaling halfway, pressing into your shins, exhaling, stepping back into your downward dog, using lots of muscles here. So in terms of fat burning, we are going to be doing some just by holding poses. Plank, either knees up or down. Hold the plank, press into the ground, and then exhale, hinge forward, either knees down or up. You can lower down, all the way down onto your stomach, chaturanga, and then inhaling into your cobra. Just warming up the spine, opening up the chest, and then lowering back down. Exhale, press back into your plank, then into downward dog. From here, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you can either step, or if you're a jumper, jump to the front of the mat. Bring the feet together, take an inhale, halfway, pressing into the shins or fingers on the ground, lengthen through the spine, exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. One more set of those chairs. Exhale to heart center, sit down in your chair. Take a breath in and twist. You don't have to place your elbow on your left thigh unless you feel like that now. You're feeling like I'm pretty warmed up. Now take a look at your knees. Bring the right knee back in so they're even. Take an inhale and twist back to center. Reach your arms up. Hook your thumbs, I'll turn around again, and stretch over to the left. And bring your right foot back behind you, and then stretch. So you'll feel more of an added right hip stretch. And then inhale back to center, hands back to heart, come up nice and tall, and then sit back into your chair, take a breath in, and then exhale back into that chair. And then twist over to the right. Same thing here. Maybe to get that left elbow on top of that right thigh. Take a look at your knees, your ankles, your feet. And then inhale back to center, reach your arms up, hook those thumbs, stretch over to the right, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, step your left foot back behind you. A little bit like you're doing a curtsy. Not quite a curtsy, almost there. And then inhale, lift back up. And this time release the hands and float forward, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Step back, downward dog if you need. If you want to take a break here, you can go into child's pose or feel free to stay in downward dog or follow me, vinyasa. Lower down. Inhale, lift. We're toning these muscles just by doing it actually extra slow. Exhale, downward dog. And let's lower the knees to the ground. Let's open the knees about as wide as the mat. Big toes are touching. Press back into a child's pose. Stretch through those fingers. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. So the thing with this is it boosts confidence. This is a confidence boosting class too, as well as an energy. Because we're trying different things. You'll see as we move on. So from here, I want you to take your left hand, just slide it over to the center. And your right hand, place it on the back of your head. Come up a little bit so your bottom is either on the heels or maybe just slightly above. And take your right elbow and bring it underneath your left arm. So as if you're trying to touch that out, you're trying to get that right elbow underneath. So what's going to happen here? Bring your mind's eye to your pelvis. Is your left hip, is it lean, is it pushing out? Then just bring it in. Check out your shins. Press evenly into both shins. I can actually feel when I do that. I immediately push my hip out. And then open up that right elbow, lift it up, take your hand off your head and reach your right arm up to the sky and then thread it underneath your left arm with the palm facing up. Come onto that right shoulder and slide your left hand actually in towards your left arm. And you're creating a 90-degree angle with that left arm and push into that. So now we're in this twist again, spinal twist. Check out your pelvis. If even out the shins, if the skin of the shins will tell you, and the tops of the feet, whether you're putting too much weight on one side, and if you are, that means your pelvis is twisting as well, as part of the twist, and we don't want that. Take an inhale and exhale, unthread that arm, and let's just sit up for a moment. Sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back. Whew. Now we have the other side. So now this time, right hand to the center. Take your left hand, place it behind you, cradle your back of the head with that hand. Elbow lifts up and then exhale. Bend, bring your left elbow on, bring that elbow underneath that right arm or towards that. Bring your mind's eye. Oh, where's my right hip? Is it jutting out to the right? Bring it slightly in. Stabilize your pelvis. Breathing in. And then as you breathe out, let's lift back up. This time the left arm lifts up to the sky and thread it under your right arm. And now you kind of have a sense of what to do. Lay your left shoulder down, the side of your head down, and then slide your right hand as close, maybe touching your left forearm or elbow area, and push into that hand as you twist. And again, here you go. Try and get your hip stable. Take your right hip and push it a little to the right until you're even on those shins and on the tops of the feet. So it makes you more aware. Then lift your left arm back up and then place it down and then sit up. Just take the hands behind you and then open up your heart. I think we need a little bit of a heart opener. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, so come forward again into your tabletop. Knees underneath your hips. Let's curl the toes under and we're going into our standing sequence, our twisting standing pose sequence. Bring your left foot in towards your right foot. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. And then flatten out that back foot. And you're going to lift up. You're now in a warrior one. So your feet are hip distance apart. They're not tight roped. Back toes are slightly pointing towards the left front corner of the mat. Hands reach up and then bring the hands in to your heart. I'm going to switch around so you can actually see me on this side. Once the hands are at your heart, lean forward just about halfway and then twist to the left. You don't have to also lay your elbow on your right thigh here either. Now, how are you going to know if your pelvis is not stable is your left outer foot is no longer on the ground. Your left knee is turning to the left. Bring that left knee in, and now you're just twisting from your waist. It is quite intense because most of the time we don't, we twist we use our pelvis. Our pelvis becomes part of that. Lower the hands to the ground. Slide your left leg back and either lower that left knee down or keep it up. Depending on, if you're a beginner, I would lower my left knee down. And then left hand inside your right foot, and let's bring your right arm up to the sky. So we're now in a revolving lunge, twisting lunge. And how we know now if we're not stable in the pelvis, if we're twisting from the pelvis, you're leaning more onto your left toe, your baby toe, your little toe. So bring that foot in, so put more pressure on the big toe, and then you're perfectly fine. There you go. And breathe. And then take an inhale, lower that right hand down, and you will flatten out that back foot. Heel toe the right foot to the left, and then you're going to cartwheel up into your warrior two. So twist around again, so now you see the front of me. Okay, here we are. We're going to do another type of stretch. Reach your arms up to the sky. Now take your left hand, spin it, so the left hand, the back arm, lift it so that as if you're trying to make a imprint on the ceiling. Take your right hand, place it on top. Palms are touching palms. Take an inhale and exhale, stretch back towards your back leg. This is one of my favorite stretches, I have to say. And make sure your right knee is bent, just above the ankle. And then from here, release the hands and place your right forearm on your right thigh. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Gently push into that right arm, so that lower arm, lift. If your left shoulder's rolling forward, just open it up. Maybe take your hand on that shoulder and then open up. So you're opening up the chest. Everything's stable here. Left hip pulls back, right hip forward, and everything's happening from the waist up. Not much is happening below today other than the strengthening and the foundation. And then let's swivel forward, lower the hands down, step back, downward dog. Feel free to do a vinyasa here if you'd like, or take a child's, or stay in a downward dog. If you want to do a vinyasa, follow me. Just a little bit of a warming and stretching of the spine, and then everybody take a pause in child's pose for one full breath. And then inhale into your tabletop. So we have another side, as you know. Exhale, curl the toes under. And if you can't, for any reason, do your step between your hands from your downward dog, just do it from the knees. Get into the tabletop and step it that way. Otherwise, follow me. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Now, bring that right foot in a little bit forward until you can flatten out that foot. Lift all the way up, warrior one. Knee is above the ankle. Back toes are turned so they're pointing towards the front quarter of the mat, so your hips are squared, chest is squared, and lift your arms up. Take a breath in. Hands to heart. So now you know where we're going. You're going to lean forward just about halfway, and then you're going to twist. Again, the right elbow doesn't have to touch the thigh at this point because we're learning, we're practicing. So press into that right outer edge. If that back outer edge, if that's up, you'll notice, okay, I'm using my pelvis. Where's my right knee? I can see my right knee already turning to the right. Yeah? So even teachers are constantly learning. And then Then from here, lower the hands to the ground, frame your left foot, slide your right leg back to side, knee down or up. Right hand inside your left foot, blocks are handy here, and then lift your left arm up to the sky. So now check out your back foot. If you're on the baby toe, you're starting to use your pelvis. You're not twisting from the waist. This is like a whole new experience for many people. It's like, I've been doing it wrong all this time. And there's no right or wrong. It just is, you'll get more out of it. And then from here, place the left hand down and flatten out that back foot. Heel toe that left foot so it's over to the right. And then open the arms into your warrior two. So I'll spin around. So we're in our warrior two, and then you're going to lift your arms up. Going into a reverse warrior, just take your right palm as if you're imprinting your hand on the palm on the wall, the ceiling. I keep saying ceiling. Ceiling, not wall. And then place your left hand on the other palm, and then take a breath in. First lengthen, and then stretch back towards that back leg. Make sure that outer edge of that right foot is pressing into the ground. And then from here, release the hands. Lean over towards your front leg. Place your left forearm on that leg. Palm faces up, and then right arm reaches. So if you find, you're leaning forward, take your right hand and push your shoulder back and release it. Keep that arm up. And press gently into that lower leg. And then twist forward, lower down, step back, downward dog. And then lower the knees to the ground. Okay, so we're going to do a twist. Take your right leg over your left leg. Now, if perchance this is way too much for you, you can't get both sit bones on the ground, extend your left leg. Otherwise, follow me. Take both hands, interlace them, grab hold of that knee, and pull it in and do a gentle twist. Look to the right. And this might be just enough for you. Then the second option is to take the left elbow outside of your right thigh with the palm facing to the right, and right hand place it behind your back, and you're twisting. That takes you deeper. By now you should be pretty warm. So inhaling, you're twisting from the navel, so waist upwards. The other option to make it even more intense is our hands together. There's another version, but I'm not going to show you that. That's the bind. If you happen to be a bindy person, you can bind, but we'll do this one. And push into that left forearm into that leg, and you should feel this stretch. And then let's come all the way, spin forward. Take your left leg out to the side, right foot inside your left leg. And from here, reach your arms back up. Take your left palm, the same thing we did earlier for reversed warrior. Take the left palms together, bring them together, take a breath in, lengthen first, then sit bones both sitting into the ground, both pressed into the ground, and then stretch over to the left. Now, if you find, this doesn't work for me, I would like to touch my foot. If you can touch your foot, you can do it that way. Some of us can actually take the right hand and bring it over. I can do it if I'm a little bit warmed up. I won't do it now. And then inhale, lift back up, release the arms down. Now keep your right leg where it is. We're going to now take your left leg, cross it over. We're in the perfect position for this other side twist. And again, right leg can be straight if you cannot get both sit bones on the ground. Interlace the hands, grab hold of that left knee, bring it into your chest. And you should already feel a twist, then twist to the left. So twisting from the navel upwards, and then you twist. Second option, take your right elbow on the outside of that left leg, left hand behind, palm facing. you can already tell how deep you can go into the stretch. And the other option are hands together. Twisting, using this to twist out your digestive system. So your intestines are being twisted. Your your organs are, some of your organs, especially the abdominals and the stomach and all those organs, are being twisted and massaged. And then come back to center. And then from here, you're going to keep your left foot inside your right thigh, right foot out to the side. Arms reach up. Right palm spins up to the ceiling, left palm place on top. Take a breath in and then stretch over to the right. And the other option, right hand if you want, all the way on. And breathing. I like this one because it's different. It's nice to try something different, a different type of stretch. And then inhale, lift back up, and then just loosen up. And I'll just show you briefly just one side, what a side crow is going to look like. And you're pretty warmed up for that. So I'm not going to go into the step-by-steps of them, but just to show you what it looks like. And you can straighten your legs, you can do lots of things. So you've gotten your body all ready for that. So if you happen to be you can do side crows, this is the perfect opportunity to do a side crow. Okay, let's lower ourselves onto our backs. And once you're on your back, hug your knees. No twisting, we've done enough twisting. So make little rocks and rolls on our back. Massage our lower back, massage our middle back. Come back to stillness, forehead to knees. Feel the stretch all the way up the length of your body. And then let's prepare our bodies for our shavasana. So twisting actually has also a stress relief, provides stress relief as well. It's a release of stress, tension. Let the shoulders relax here. Let the feet open up. Give your lower back muscles permission to relax. Actually, you have to tell it to, because they'll stay tense, because it's a habit, it's a habitual space our lower back muscles are in most of the time. So let them melt into the mat. Let your feet relax, your arms, your face, and breath. And staying here for the next 2 to 5 minutes. So we're working on the oblique muscles, strengthening those. We're strengthening our spine. And then as you continue in your shavasana, I will seal the practice for this session on many things, but the main focus has been on how do we, question I always get, can you lose weight with yoga? Can you become stronger? Can you get fit? And absolutely yes, absolutely. And it's also more sustainable. Those heavy duty cardios you can only do those for so long. As you get older also, you feel like you need something that you can carry into, you can do your whole life, because there's always variations of it. So as I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice, feeling into this beautiful stretch of the spine, how good this feels. Now having the knowledge on how to twist in a yoga practice, and not doing it all the time. Like I would do this class and maybe I would wait another few days to do it again, because you don't want to overdo something if your body's not used to it. So taking this practice with you so that you benefit, but all beings benefit. Thank you so much for being with me. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Namaste, everyone. And if you enjoy my classes, please feel free to subscribe. Just press the button on the right-hand side. Let me know what you like about the class, any kind of feedback, and thumbs up. Other than that, I'll see you soon.